good morning and welcome back to Vel, Ohio. About a month ago, I had myself a big fat problem. You see, I've had this fat bike for about 7 or 8 years now, and I've really loved owning it. The original tires that came with it were just the standard Walmart 26 by 4.0s. In fact, everything about this bike was pretty standard. I went through bits and pieces and upgraded just about everything. So I picked myself up some 26 by 4.8 roly-polies that just barely fit within the frame, and over the course of the years they've actually stretched out. So where they originally measured like 4.5 on these 100mm wide rims, ultimately they ended up measuring to that true 4.8, and I only had myself 2.5 millimeters of clearance on my left chainstay. So fat bikes aren't quite the rage that they used to be. The tire selection is diminishing. I was looking around for tires, and instead of finding myself the perfect set of replacement tires, I ended up finding myself this. Now, to me, this constitutes a pretty decent upgrade. This is a 2017 Scott Big Ed. So I've moved myself up in the world to a fat bike that actually has bicycle components on it. And what do I mean by that? Well, I guess what I mean are through axles instead of solid nuts that you have to fix with a wrench. Suspension comes stock with hydraulic brakes, comes stock with a double chain ring and a wide range rear cassette. I still love my old fat bike, but this gave me the chance to actually swap out the smaller 4.5 tires on this bike, put them on the old sticker bike, and then put my CST roly-polies on this. It is pretty crazy just to put some numbers to these. So this is the rear wheel here, you know, with cassette, without tire. 2,845 grams. Oh, so for the Imperial among us, yeah, over 6 pounds. And that's just for the wheel. I think these Schwalbe J tubes are the lightest ones. They're supposed to be somewhere in the range of 400 grams. Yeah. And then I think this CST roly-poly 4.8 wire bead, somewhere around 1,800. Yep. So these things were doing the aero trend before the aero wheels were. 102 external. 96.5 internal. That is massive. All right, so I finally got the Juggernaut Pro here off the Scott Synchros 80s wheels. I had never seen a bead so stuck into the hook before. I actually had to stand on the side of the tire just to unseat it. But anyway, yeah, let's get a little comparison in weight. Yeah, giving us 3.3 pounds. So, you know, looking at roughly half the weight. Although I guess this is the front wheel, not the rear, but you get the point. So yeah, just about 80 on the dot, external. And then 74 internal. That's your side-to-side comparison. All right, CST roly-polies in action. Plenty of clearance there. So I'm liking the way that these fit with the 80mm rims on the Scott Big Ed. And the funniest thing is my tightest clearance now is actually between the chain and the tire when you're in that largest sprocket here in the inner ring. But I don't think that'll be too much of a problem. So they do measure up just at about 4.5 now instead of that 4 3/4 that they were on the 100mm wide rim. Just in time as well, because it's the first snow that we've had in Columbus this year that's been over an inch. So let's go for a ride. Let's see what kind of trouble we can get into. is a squirrely turn. Oh, sideways drift. A little bit more ice. Narrow bridge. That's how you lose a finger. All right, let's get a relatively high speed run here, if there is such a thing. The old river run. Brave souls out here this morning. It is Saturday morning, I don't know, around 7:45 a.m. I'll be doing a little bit of basketball coaching later, so I had to get out early. So as you can probably tell, I'm pretty delighted with the bike. My lips are a little frozen. I went to take a drink, the first drink of the ride. I couldn't squeeze the bottle because it had a perimeter of ice all around it. But anyway, no complaining, nothing but good vibes today. Like I said, I came upon this bike because I was searching the used market for fat bike tires and instead found a fat bike at a price that I couldn't afford to pass up. This bike MSRP is about $2,000 more than the Mongoose Dolomite, which, you know, probably doubled the cost by upgrading it. But is this bike $2,000 more fun than that Mongoose Dolomite? Absolutely not. However, it is a bike that isn't going to get me in trouble if any mechanical mishaps happen out on the trail. It's a bike that I can live with in the best of times and the worst of times. That Mongoose never let me down, but this is also a bike that I wouldn't be afraid to take onto an Ohio gravel grinders race, take it on a single track course, just because I know that with the fork, with kind of the modern bike specific parts that it has, like through axles, it's just going to be a bike that's easier to live with. So I would recommend that you guys get on two wheels, have some fun in whatever capacity you have. Maybe you've got beautiful weather And if you do, I'm jealous. See you in the next one. I have some exciting content this year, so I can't wait to share it with you.